Hey, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Courtney.
And this is Body Stipplers.
The podcast where we talk about the books that we used to steal off our grandmother's nightstands.
And drink about them.
So, hello, welcome back. And this is part 2 of Courtney's very special episodes.
4 for 40.
4 for 40. Again, I'm 9 to 5 years old. So, what we're doing this month during Gemini season.
Don't say month, because we learned a lesson with March Madness.
So, what we're doing in this series of 4 installments are talking about books that I ridiculously loved as a preteen teenager. So,
I feel like I know you better, and I don't know how to feel about it.
I'm amazing. It's fine. So, we talked about the book Wishes, which you guys have heard.
Which was amazing.
It was amazing. So we are bringing the second installment tonight, which is I think it's a little bit nostalgia overload for a lot of people because this was a really popular series.
I feel like I was too old for it. I'm younger than you were.
Well, so
I was racing so hard for adulthood, though, that...
Yeah, so we are reading a R.L. Stine Fear Street book. So here's the thing. R.L. Stine, I think a lot of people know, like, the Goosebumps series. But between 1989 and 1995, he did the Fear Street, which were a little bit, like, older than what Goosebumps was.
I remember reading one of them, and it occurs to me, thinking about this, I don't remember the name of it, but it had, like, a prom corsage, like a lily, with those corsage pins stuck through it.
Yeah, like, okay, so he's basically,
my birthday, I forgot which one that was.
Oh, God, they're so fun. So, R.L. Stine has written a shit ton of books. He's written the Goosebumps series. He's written this series. And people like to call him, like, he's basically like Stephen King Jr. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing. I was reading these books, which are obviously juvenile, at the same time that I was reading Stephen King.
I was mainlining this shit, like, up in the vein in Stephen King.
I love it. So, we are reading R.L. Stine's First Date. And I remember vividly reading this one. This, in so much that somebody knew how much of a thing it was for me, they got me a copy. Like, this, I lost it, so I had to get another copy. And I'm so happy to have it because, like, it's the original copy. Like,
the cover is hilarious because she is so dead-eyed that she looks like the monster.
They did, like, new covers for the Fear Streets. And they're nowhere near as fun. Like, the old covers kind of have, like, a Nightmare on Elm Street feel to them. Yes. And that's obviously what they're ripping off. Like, Fear Street is ripping off Elm Street. But, I'm so excited to talk about this book. So, we are drinking because in this book, again, like Wishes, we're dealing with weird fat shaming. Like,
not as much, but it's definitely like a background thing.
So we're kind of drinking some skinny bitch drinks.
And also we're drinking what teenagers, I'm told, drank when I was a kid. Nobody ever offered me anything.
So we have rum and diet, and then we also have Crystal Light and rum. And I have a really funny Crystal Light story. So
you're saying this and I'm imagining that lady, like, jumping into that pool.
No, okay, so when I was in college, I was in a sorority, and we had the most, like, extra, over-the-top sorority advisor you could ever imagine. She used to be a broadcast journalist, so imagine that, like, dark helmet.
Imagine my face.
A dark helmet of hair, you know, always with the makeup, and she would always come to, like, our chapter meetings and be like, you ladies, like, if you need to lose 5 pounds, here's what you need to do. And she'd be like, I brought everybody, like, I got this book about sugar busters. Y'all just need to not have sugar. And she's like, and maybe just start drinking Crystal Light.
Actually, for some reason, I did drink a lot of Crystal Light in my 20s, not because I was trying to lose weight, but just because it tasted good.
And here's the thing, before anybody's like, oh, horrified about it, we were all 19, 20, and we all thought it was hilarious. Like, when she left, we all had the most amazing impersonations of her telling us to lose weight. Like, we were like, we're just going to be the fatties that you think we are. So, whenever I think of Crystal Light, I think of her. So, our Crystal Light and rum is kind of like an homage to, like, my college sorority days.
So, it's a drink that you would drink back in the day, and also, it's a drink that makes you think about that.
Yeah, like, oh my God, when I was like, I think I would have had Crystal Light with vodka if I was going to do a, like, you know, if I was going to have a skinny bitch drink, but basically what I would just do is not eat and just go drink, like, you know.
Our trigger warnings for this. There's no sexual assault, but it is a crazy book where all of the male people, other than her father, are monsters.
And this is a book geared for younger children. Like, again, this is a book geared from middle school kids. And
thinking about dating from a long way away.
Everybody in this book is sort of psychotic.
Yeah, it's all monsters.
I have a lot of things to say about it.
Yes, me too.
Okay, so we didn't take notes for this one. We're just doing it because this book is super short. It's only
we both read it in one sitting, I think.
Yeah, it's like an hour long. It's like 165 pages. So this book, first date. First date. Let me read the description.
I believe this is Fear Street. I want to say like 15 or 16. We should say so. This is like an early Fear Street book, but not like a crazy early Fear Street book.
No. Okay, so he is set up the Fear Street universe because there's a whole universe,
and in fact that exists in the book. By the way,
okay. So Fear Street, the back cover. Dying for a date. Chelsea Richards is shy, lonely, and looking for love. She would give anything to finally go on a date. So there are 2 new boys in town, and both ask her out. Too bad one of them is a crazed killer. Poor Chelsea. Will her first date be her last? Okay, so the plot to R.L. Stine's First Date, this Bananas book. So this book is about Chelsea, who we learned about on the back. Chelsea is your typical teenager. She hates everything about her life. She hates how she looks. She hates her family. Well, she doesn't really hate. She just complains. She's a typical teenager.
And this is, of course, written by a middle-aged man.
Yeah. So, he's got his finger on the pulse.
If you hate your mom, what do you say to her? They're bantering, and it's like the fakest ass banter.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. So, her and her family have moved from out of town to Shadyside, where all of the Fear Street books take place. And they've moved there so her dad could have the opportunity to open up a diner.
I'm telling you, it's because economic opportunities are high in a place where people get murdered all the time.
I mean, it's very true. So Chelsea works at the diner, and the diner is not in a very good part of town. Her mom is a nurse or like a healthcare.
I think she's like a CNA. Like she works in a nursing home.
Yeah, something. So, okay. So, Chelsea's been in town for about a month. She's got one friend, Nina. Nina's got a boyfriend named Doug.
And that's all Nina thinks about.
So, yeah. Chelsea's jealous that Nina's outgoing and smart or not smart, but cute and skinny and blonde. It comes up a lot. So, the book opens with Chelsea walking from school to the diner and the book opens with an unnamed dark-haired boy in a leather jacket necking with a girl in Lover's Lane, and then straight up just pushing her off a cliff.
But it is very fevered. It is. I can get how you would be into this. This is baby's first serial killer.
Yeah, they're making out, everything's steamy.
But he's trapped by his mother.
Yeah,
it's
my mother.
The most obvious serial killer.
So, yeah, the girl that he's making out with, Candy.
Oh yeah.
Discovers, finds his wallet and realizes he's lied about his name, and basically he just pushes her off.
Amusingly, that is my sociopath half-brother's first wife's name.
Candy.
That's true.
That's a good name.
It's absolutely true.
Okay, so...
She got lucky.
After we go from Candy and the unnamed serial killer, we're at Chelsea. Chelsea's in school, like we said. She's been there about a month.
But they set up this thing, by the way, with the serial killer. She finds his wallet. So in other words, you learn that this guy could have any name.
Yeah.
And so you're looking for this guy to appear for the rest of the book. That's the dynamic of the book.
So Chelsea's walking from school to work, and this truck full of street toughs pulls up.
And they're described as greasy. More than one of them.
They straight up start harassing her in a very scary way. They're flicking cigarette butts at her, asking her to get in the car. She runs off.
It's super gross in a way that, of course, is not unfamiliar to women in general.
Yeah, but
it's quite a scene setter.
For a book for people, ages 11 to 13. It's
I
kind of
feel that it is honestly a good scene setter. As in, this is going to be the rest of the book. This is all the men in the rest of the book are going to be like this.
So Chelsea works again at the diner that belongs to her father. She's working one night, and this guy comes in, and he's got a leather jacket. The leather jacket is important, everyone. So he's got a leather jacket and curly dark hair, and his name is Tim Sparks. And he's like, everyone calls me Sparks.
But he's unhinged acting.
Yeah, he's very crazy. He asked her on a date, and she's like...
But in this way, it's kind of a joke.
Well, he asked her on a date, and then her father comes in, and he's, like, described as giving her father, like, a look of absolute hatred, and then he walks out. And then, like, 5 minutes later, these street toughs come in, and violently assault her father.
Like, try to murder him and for the money in the cash register. Yes. It just happens to be like, he doesn't die.
With a lead pipe. Like, it's very violent. Yeah. Like, there's a lead pipe attack, y'all. A lead pipe attack.
And she's stuck, like screaming on the floor next to, like, the blood puddle. It is so intense.
Her father's in intensive care in serious but stable condition. They keep telling us that. And Chelsea calls, like, after she gets home from the hospital... Her mom lets her go home alone after her father has been violently attacked, which is insane.
Well, her mother's probably the only person making any money in the family, so and then has to go to her.
She calls, the diner that they work at closes at 7.
Yeah, which is amazing. And they've been open for a month, but they have regulars. So, and it's just her and Ernie. There are other waitresses, but whenever she's there, it's just her and fucking Ernie.
The cook that is never really there. Yeah. So her mom...
Ernie might be a ghost, I don't know.
After her father is violently attacked, her mom's just like, go home. So Chelsea calls her best friend Nina, and Nina's like, I'll be over there immediately. But Nina has brought her boyfriend Doug.
Because Nina just wants to neck. And is that what teenagers at the time did? Like
Chelsea's father almost bled out on the...
Yes.
The family business's floor.
Intense,
and
y'all.
Nina's like straight up making out with her boyfriend on the couch as like Chelsea is dealing with this.
This is not a good friend. We will discuss this and back to the bitch, alright?
This post-trauma, like...
Okay. We have not discussed homeroom.
No, so the next day, or whatever, like...
Earlier, I think.
Chelsea has met another boy named Will.
They all have dark hair, leather jackets, etc.
Yeah.
This matters later, trust me.
Yeah, it's like, she's met him in homeroom, and he's very shy. He's very shy. He doesn't talk. And so she's super into Will.
Because she can project anything at will she wants to.
Well, it's... Okay, so... After her father's horrific attack, it's just, like, back to normal. Back to normal.
She's working, except for 3 people in the restaurant, it's just 2.
She's back working in the... Again.
But it's safe because it closes at 7 at night. It's a diner, but you better get there fucking early.
She is back working in this restaurant less than 24 hours after her father was horrifically attacked and almost murdered.
Yes.
By herself, except for Ernie, who is the most useless piece of shit out there.
Yes.
So,
my theory is that Ernie is, in fact, not a live person.
Tim Sparks comes back in, acts a little creepy, wanders off. So, there's a little bit of, like... She has interactions with Tim Sparks, and then she has interactions with Will.
And, well, you know, obviously, you've met this person to start with. Which one is a serial killer?
Yeah, it is very much the guessing game.
You know, one of these guys is one of them.
Which one of these boys is going to be the serial killer?
So, of course, you know that it's Will, because it would be too obvious if it were Tim.
Yeah, because
you weren't born yesterday.
They write Tim very creepy.
I didn't run off the fucking turnip truck last night.
So Will asks her on a date, but tells her to make it a secret date. It's like, no, honey.
Yeah, if any child of mine, I swear I would beat your ass.
Never be a secret date
Baby,
to anybody.
if you are not my child, but if you want somebody to give you advice.
So, the best part about it, like the other thing that was my favorite is, so they go to this movie in another town, her and Will.
Because it's a secret, so you can't go to your own town.
The movie described is a John Candy.
Oh my God, yes.
2 Quaid brother joint. And I was like, is this really a movie? I don't think it is, but now I want to see that movie. I want to see
the Wagons East, right? It's like,
I was like, I want to see the two Quaid brother John Candy movie. Like,
and it wasn't her normal kind of movie because she was there with Will.
Yeah. So her and Will go for a walk. They make out a little bit.
Baby, if you're going to ask us for advice, pause. And you're saying, should I go out with this guy who wants me to be his secret girlfriend? What is our answer? Fuck him. No, don't fuck him.
It depends.
Well, yes. Be
sometimes-
careful if you want to fuck him. But he wants that for a reason, and that reason is probably not your
I kind of want to
friend.
know why you want me to be a secret girlfriend. I could be a secret girlfriend.
Well, yeah, but if you got some damn sense, I mean, you have to assume a certain amount of not the serial killer victim
I
on
mean,
yourself.
you have to be like there has to be intrigue for me to be a secret girlfriend.
Right. I mean, yeah, I'm just saying
Not
that,
like you're straight up ashamed of me.
if you're actually not sure, you should message us and
Yeah.
we will help you with this question.
Yeah,
I want to know because I was not the kind of person who ever had that question as a
You
senior high
would be
school. So
the
I'm
secret
ready. I'm
girlfriend.
so ready. I want to go. Ready to go. It's go time. It's go
I might
time.
have had a secret boyfriend or two, but anyway, so she's seeing Will. Things are looking on the up. Her dad's gonna get out of the hospital in like 2 months because he's got major brain damage.
Yeah, so that's a thing.
So,
Good thing that her mother is like a home nursing care.
oh my god, it's insane.
Yes.
So, the other thing that really cracked me up in this book, again, she's got a lot of weight issues because, like, she's not the size of Nina. And there's a part where she talks about her lunch, and her lunch is like a turkey sandwich and chips and a drink and like an apple and pudding, which is a normal lunch, you know?
Yeah, that's
And
completely
then, like,
reasonable lunch.
Nina describes her, like, Nina has yogurt, and Nina was like, hey, do you want to eat some of this yogurt?
I can't finish my whole yogurt.
And Chelsea's like, talking about how she had to do something with her hands because she was going to punch Nina in the face.
No, she had to eat some chips. So
I was
you
like,
know.
I enjoyed that part.
And please understand, I make my own yogurt.
You do make your own
I
yogurt.
completely get that, but also I wanted to punch fucking Nina in the
Oh my
face.
god.
Nina's the worst friend.
So she's gone out with Will a couple times. It's going well.
He happens to keep finding, I don't know, ropes in the bushes.
Yeah, he just
You
always
know?
all he has is rope bushes. So
But I don't know where Courtney
Oh.
was dating, so that's fine with Courtney.
so she's at home, Chelsea, and the FBI just shows up at her door.
And it was just after he left, I think.
Yeah, it was really like he just
Yeah, because this is the way the FBI activates.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, okay, can I talk to your parents? And she's like, they're not here. And they're like, okay, so I'll talk to you. This is totally the way the FBI.
Yeah, they totally
works.
work this way. They're like, if you see a boy with dark hair and a leather jacket, be on the lookout because he's very dangerous. And so
she's
she
like,
immediately
why?
goes,
Like, what do you do? And they were like, bah, bah, bah.
you don't need to worry about They're like, you don't need to worry about
My
that.
arms are, he's flying away, actually.
They're like, you don't need to worry about that. And so she's like, oh, Tim Sparks. That's who you need to look for.
Yeah, because he's got dark curly hair.
And is sort of unhinged and crazy.
Yeah, well, which is reasonable because we've
is.
actually seen him. It's funny, the viewpoint shifts for a minute.
Yeah.
To him, like, being, like, thinking, oh man, I should have asked her out. And then, like, breaking windows in and mirrors.
Yeah.
This guy is not okay.
So she is at the diner again, alone, with fucking
Ernie took a smoke break.
Ernie took a smoke break, and Tim Sparks shows up and is drunk.
And, well, you can't even tell that he's drunk. He's just aggressive and
Well, he's
sweaty
like- he's like,
and
I'm-
staggering.
Oh my god! And he like makes a grab at her. He like
I
tries
thought
to
he was
like
on drugs.
he like tried to like with the football, like where he tried to take her out like at her
Tackle
knees.
her?
No, but like where you tried to get somebody at the
Oh,
knees.
well, don't ask me a sport thing.
And so like she runs off and he
Thought that was
chases her.
Yeah, he is terrifying.
It is, and like so he basically like trips into the grill and like drops like he
Like third degree burns, like actually like terrifyingly
in his hands
damaged
and
his
like
hand.
the oil.
Because she is actually trapped against the door that she thinks
Yeah.
Ernie's behind, but turns out that door, by the way, is locked and bolted. So where the fuck is Ernie? Ernie is a ghost.
So
He wanders in later and nobody says anything.
So she calls the police. The police come and take Tim Sparks.
And well, she has this like, she's actually pretty smart about it.
Yeah.
She has the thing like, I'm gonna call 911 for you. 911. Hi. You should bring the FBI.
Yeah.
And maybe an ambulance.
Yeah, so like you're like, oh, it's all over. Well, Will shows up And she's like, oh, Will, it's been terrible. And he's like, there. Her parents, her mother is still her daughter has just been violently attacked somewhere. And
her mother actually comes home for like 5 minutes at some point, just covered in blood from something else, and just goes back to work.
Like, her mother is nowhere there. Like, her daughter has been violently attacked. The FBI is involved. Mm. And, like, her mom just can't be bothered. So... she's at the house.
Well, maybe she thinks she's like super grown. She's gonna tell her mom, like, "Hey, by the way, the FBI were here."
She's at her house with Will. They're hugging. She's like, "Oh, it's so terrible." Will finds out that she has told her friend about their secret relationship, and he's like, "Why don't you invite your friend over?"
In other words, he means to kill them both.
So after she calls Nina to come over, Will chokes Chelsea.
Well, actually, she gets some sense at the last minute. Yeah. She realizes, oh, shit, that's him. And she calls the FBI. But now we're running down the count. Yeah. We're running the clock for the rest of
the... She runs onto Fear Street, and he chokes her. And then you think
she uses her secret saxophone.
He thinks she's dead. And he makes the point of being like, I wish I'd picked the skinnier one to, like, drag off into the woods. Like, fuck you, Will. So, he goes back to Chelsea's house. Nina shows up.
Because he has to still wait for Nina. Because
he's got to kill her.
He knows that, he's got another, like, assuming that these people have told nobody. You know, he's not very guilty.
Yeah, so.
I assume that all of his other victims have also lived, which is how they do it.
He's a terrible killer. So, Nina shows up, and he starts to attack her. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Chelsea just like, she's not really dead.
I love that her whole stick is like, I'm the ghost of Chelsea. I mean, essentially she's pretending to be the dead Chelsea. It's beautiful.
So Chelsea, because she's a saxophone player, has enlarged lungs, and she lets you know that she can hold her breath up to 4 minutes. And she's like, I faked it, you dumbass. And he's like, I killed you. She's like, yeah, I played the saxophone. You can't kill me.
But before, I mean, that's only once the FBI show. Before that, she was like, yeah, I'm from the grave. It's great. The ligature mark, it's great.
So, like, Will freaks the fuck out. The FBI shows up. She, admits to using her saxophone prowess.
Good for you, baby. I played the French horn, so I get you.
So, and then the book closes with her.
Oh my God.
Going to Tim Sparks's
Jesus fucking Christ.
hospital and apologizing for
she's sorry that she jammed his sex offender hand into the grill.
Yeah. He does say, I deserved it. Yeah. And he did deserve it.
He's like a runaway who was freaking out, essentially. Yeah. But she's gonna go out with him.
Yeah, but he does. He, like, this is the clincher. The last line is he's like, hey, you want to go out sometime? And she's like, yeah, it can't be any worse than my first date.
Which is, I admit, a point of view.
I mean, it is, but, like, Chelsea, you don't need to go out with white trash.
You can do better.
Like,
this man has never done anything but sweat at you. Like, he's just like sweat. He's like that Behold the Master Race subreddit. Like, that's that guy.
Oh my God, it was.
Jesus H. Christ.
So that is the short and sweet of verse 8. And again, I know it sounds bananas and that we were all over the place, but this is 165 pages of just crazy. So, yeah, that is. I was obsessed with this book, though. I loved it so much, and I think it's because I played the clarinet in band, and she played the saxophone, so we had woodwind power. Like,
Reed, you got the power of Reed.
Yeah, we did. It's like she had this curly, crazy, like, brown hair. I have the curly, crazy brown hair that I straighten. Like, I felt very kindred spirited to Chelsea. I would have worn the sweater that she's wearing, her orange V-neck. I would have had that. So, all right. Questions.
Boy.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Bechdel to bitch
Nina
ratio.
was a fucking cunt.
She was
no friend.
There was no...
Like, every time that Chelsea needed her, she was like, oh, duh. Yeah, and we all had that fucking friend in high school, right? She was supposed to be your fucking friend, but all she cared about was your response to her and her goddamn relationship drama. And she didn't care about anything else. No, fuck her.
Yeah, and aside from that, there's, like, no, like, aside from her mom, there's no other female. It's like, but again, it's a 165 book for, like, teens, so.
Theoretically, there were other waitresses, but we never saw them.
We never saw them. Okay, this one's gonna be hilarious. Bastard to bay ratio.
Sweaty and smelly.
They're both crazy.
No, every single dude in this book, except for her father, who's like only to get clocked over the head, is a nightmare. They're a terror. What is this telling kids? I think that this is telling young girls that what you should do is live in your burrow. You shouldn't even get a job. You definitely shouldn't date.
Oh my god.
Like, there's not a good guy in this at all.
I like that it took, like, I like that what he was trying to do is spin, like, oh, Will seems like the nice guy, but he's a killer! Give the crazy one that, like, is punching mirrors a chance.
And also, I mean, do you honestly think that none of the girls reading this know that they're all fucking nightmare dangerous? No! Of course! They're all date rapists, because they're all date rapists.
I think I would have been like, I think reading this, I was like, ooh, Sparks. You know, I don't know. Like, again, I was like 11.
He smells bad on the page.
But he, you know, he's a rebel. Okay. Would your 12-year-old self have dog-eared any pages?
There's no doing it.
There's no, like, nothing like, I mean, they make out. Again, I would have found Sparks, the bad boyness of him, intriguing. Like, I feel like this is at the same time I was like, I feel like he's supposed to be like okay.
If you say the fucking word Jordan Catalana, I'll
No,
clock
I'm not going to say Jordan
Okay.
Catalana. Like, okay, so I feel like that what Sparks is supposed to be is when Richard Grieco took over from Johnny Depp on 21 Jump Street.
I didn't watch her.
Well,
I knew that was a thing, and
so I feel like that's what he was supposed to be. So I was like, ooh, okay.
What I'm picturing is that kind of the late 80s, early 90s comic book kind of art style of like a punk like that, just like roiding out with his veins out. And I am not.
Oh, it was so fun.
No, thank you.
Okay, the CW level of authenticity. I will say that the CW could buy up the R.L. Stein Fear Street books and make a hell of a series. They can make a hell of a series.
But the thing is, like, what is with the fact that she knows that Fear Street is a thing? Like, she talks about Fear Street being a thing.
Like, everyone gets murdered.
Well, I guess that's what the property values are divine.
Yeah. Okay. So, did you want to slap the heroine?
All the fucking time.
Yeah, she was kind of whiny.
She was dumb as dog shit.
Well, she was dumb as dog shit until she faked her own death and, like, came back.
Okay, no, respect on her name.
She, like, came back and that last, like, 20 pages amazing.
And the thing is, she wasn't even just, like you would if you would actually come back after faking your own death, and just be, like, clinging on. No, she had a bit that she did. I respected that. That was legit.
Okay, number 7, we have changed up for these 4 books. How bad are you judging me for reading this?
Well, not at the time. But, like, don't you feel like all these people were weirdly sweaty? As in, like, they were drama sweat.
Oh, God, I loved it. Okay. And then, what type of booze do you think this book is?
Well, it's definitely something that you nip out of your parents' liquor cabinet.
Yeah, it's for sure. I would say it's like a Zima. You know, it's like one of those things.
I tried to get a tab, actually, for the previous book, but I tried to get it for this too. And I know it's around, but I couldn't find it. So, you know.
Yeah,
there's a thing that you get, like, you don't admit that you drink, and either because you don't want to tell your friends, or because you are trying to refill bottles.
Yeah.
That somebody is, like,
water it down. But yeah, I think it was a Zima.
Can you imagine, like, maybe your parents are like, oh, well, we don't drink much anymore. Why don't you take these bottles of...
You're like, oh,
yay!
Water. No, that's what I get from it. It's a Zima. But it was fun. It was fun to revisit. Again, I still hold a weird affection for this book. I don't know why.
That's okay. You're allowed to do that.
I loved it. I love Chelsea, even though she's whiny. I liked it.
She's whiny, but she's whiny for... I get
she's
her...
a whiny teenager.
No, I mean, like, her teenage reasons to be whiny, I completely understand.
Yeah. So...
They're legit. I mean, okay, so this is a middle-aged man trying to imagine a
What
teenage
is
girl's
a
like
teenage
relationship with
girl's,
his mother, with her mother.
It was outstanding.
But like her actual feelings of being a teenager, no, those are legit. Those are that's fine.
I loved it. So This one's super short and sweet because this book is really short and sweet. Like, again,
Not very sweet.
it's 165 pages.
This Crystal Light is really sweet, and is it aspartame or is it?
Oh, you're getting the aspartame. You need the sugar.
Am I getting
sugar busters.
cancer?
Right now, it's happening.
Do I have to be a rat to get cancer from this? I feel like I'm getting cancer from this.
Oh my god. So, I love it so much. Fear Street, R.L. Stein. We'll see you next time.
Night, night, y'all.